Good morning, students. Our today's topic is the first cities. The earliest cities, like the early settlements, also came upon the banks of rivers. Easy availability of water, moderate climate, and fertile soil made it easy for humans to settle at one place and gave them enough time to pursue other activities. Humans started to trade things, to build things, develop techniques to improve various kinds of crafts using metals to make tools and jewelry, started to write in a particular script, towns developed, etc. Four early civilizations on the river banks. The Indus Valley civilization on the banks of the Indus River in India, the Chinese civilization on the banks of the Huanghe River in China, the Mesopotamian civilization on the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Sumer, and the Egyptian civilization on the banks of the Nile River in Africa. Indus Valley civilization. The first discovery of early cities in the Indian subcontinent was made by Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahni in 1921. He discovered the ruins of an ancient city in Harappa. It is located in the Montgomery district of Punjab, present in Pakistan, on the banks of the Ravi River, tributary of the Indus River. Another archaeologist, R.D. Banerjee, discovered another ruins about 400 kilometers downstream on the banks of the Indus River. This site is located in the Larkana district of Sindh, now in Pakistan. It is known as Mohenjo-daro. Both these townships and all other smaller civilizations on the banks of the Indus River or its tributaries are commonly known as the Indus Valley Civilization and also as the Harappan civilization, named after the first city site discovered. Period and extent. Indus Valley civilization flourished between 3000 to 1700 BCE. In all, over 1000 sites have been discovered and about 100 have been excavated. Even recently, some more remains of ancient cities have been found. The earliest cities to be discovered were the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, which were bigger than the other cities that were discovered later. The other areas which have been excavated are Kotdiji in Sindh, Lothal, Sarkotara and Dholavira in Gujarat, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Ropar in Punjab. City architecture, town planning. Cities of this civilization show that people had a good knowledge of town planning and they were good architects. Most cities were divided into two parts. The western part of the city was built on a raised ground and archaeologists called it citadel. Many big buildings have been found here like the Granaries, Assembly or Town Hall, etc. Historians are of the view that administrative work was carried from this part of the city. It was built on a huge brick platform. This may have been done to protect it against the danger of flood, as the civilization was located on the banks of a river. It is possible that in case of flood, people may be taking shelter in the citadel. The citadel is surrounded by huge walls. Historians believe that probably the ruling class stayed in this area. Lower town was located to the east and common people lived in this area. Streets. The town planners of those times had made straight roads crossing each other at right angles and thus dividing the city into blocks. This is very similar to the modern town design used in Jaipur and Chandigarh even after thousands of years. Houses and buildings. Houses were made of bricks and mud. Some two-storied houses have been also found. The houses were built on both sides of the road and they had thick walls. The doors did not open on the main streets but into the side lanes. The bigger houses had a courtyard and the rooms were around the courtyard. They had a separate kitchen and a bathroom. Some houses had their own wells. Drainage system. The town planners had devised a very good drainage system. The drains were also laid out that the water from bathing areas and kitchens drained into narrow drains, which later joined into larger drains. Drains had a gradual slope to ensure flow of water. At many places, the drains were covered and had inspection holes which show that they had a sense of hygiene and ensured cleanliness. The Great Bath. The most important and impressive structure found at the citadel in Mohenjo-daro is the Great Bath, which resembles the modern day swimming pool. It is made of bricks, mortar, and tar, which showcases their great engineering skill. It was plastered by bitumen, which prevented water from slipping away. It has a large number of rooms and there are flights of steps that go down to the water. Historians are of the view that people must be bathing in this on religious occasions and water must have been supplied from the well. Granaries. Granaries have also been found at the citadel of nearly all civilizations. These were probably used as storehouse of grains produced. It is likely that these were used during the periods when there was no crop. Life of the people. The life of people essentially revolved around food, water, clothing, shelter, and security. These have been the main concern of humans since a very long time, even when they were cave dwellers. The same have remained as their basic needs ever since. The civilizations around the same times as the Harappan era along the Indus Valley demonstrate the urbanization of cities. Growth of population at settlements would have taken place at a greater pace. It is understandable that the people who grew food crops managed to grow enough crops for more than their own needs, thus leaving the others free to take on the other associated works like making tools, building houses and other structures, carts, working as labor and traders, and so on. Governance. No specific findings have been made to confirm about rulers during this period. However, there are signs that they were governed by a very systematic administration. As the society grew in numbers, people adopted a system of governance. They possibly had a headman who took decisions on issues of all types, including sharing of space and conflicts among people. They must have devised a system of securing their area from any outsider by way of uniting among themselves and fighting off anyone from outside the community. It is likely that this would have later taken the form of an army, which was probably led by someone who ultimately became the protector and ruler.